the young and the restless spoiler's shock. Lucy paced back and forth in the living room, her eyes constantly glancing at her phone, hoping for a message, a missed call, anything. But there was nothing. The silence was unbearable. She couldn't shake the gnawing feeling that something terrible had happened to her father, Daniel. Her mind kept spiraling back to the last few weeks, to all the strange things he had said and the eerie tension surrounding Sharon. Beside her, Heather sat on the couch, her brow furrowed in worry, but she maintained a calm exterior. She believed that Daniel would come back. After all, he had been through difficult times before and always managed to find his way out. Daniel's strong, Heather assured Lucy, but even she couldn't fully hide her own concern. He knows how to handle himself in tough situations. Lucy didn't seem convinced. I don't know, Heather, she muttered, her voice breaking. This feels different. He wouldn't just disappear like this. It had been days since anyone had heard from Daniel, and with each passing hour, Lucy's panic grew. Daniel had been struggling with everything going on, especially the tense situation with Sharon. He had told them about his concerns, about how Sharon had become increasingly unpredictable, but they had never thought it would escalate to this. Now Daniel was missing, and Sharon seemed to be at the center of it all. Heather stood up, trying to think rationally. Look, I know Sharon has been acting strange, but we need to stay calm. The police are looking into it. But Lucy wasn't calm. She couldn't be. The idea of her father being in danger gnawed at her insides. What if Sharon did something to him? What if she's the reason he's gone? Heather shook her head. We don't know that. Sharon might be unstable, but she's not invincible. Daniel's not the kind of guy who would let someone like her take him down without a fight. But we need to find him, and I'm going to make sure we do. Driven by the same fear that Lucy couldn't shake, Heather had already reported Daniel's disappearance to the police. They had been searching, but with little to go on, there hadn't been any breakthroughs. Still, Heather refused to just sit back and wait. She was determined to find Daniel, no matter what. Meanwhile, there was something unsettling about Nick and Mariah. Both had been acting strange, as if they knew something but weren't saying anything. Nick had been following Sharon closely, keeping tabs on her day and night. Heather had noticed how his demeanor had shifted recently, becoming more guarded, almost secretive. Heather decided to confront Nick. She went straight to his house, her fists clenched, her voice filled with urgency. Nick, what do you know? She demanded. You've been following Sharon for days now. If you know where Daniel is, or what's going on, you need to tell me. Nick, caught off guard, hesitated. His eyes flickered with guilt. I've been watching Sharon, yes. But that's because I'm worried about her. She's not herself, Heather. Something's off. Heather crossed her arms, her anger simmering just beneath the surface. What's off, Nick? My daughter is terrified, and Daniel is missing. We don't have time for cryptic answers. Tell me what you know. Nick ran a hand through his hair, clearly torn. I think Sharon might be involved in Daniel's disappearance, he admitted finally, his voice low. But I don't have proof. She's been talking to someone who isn't there. She's unstable, Heather. I don't know how far she'll go. Heather's stomach dropped. So, you're telling me that Sharon could have hurt Daniel? I don't know, Nick replied quickly. But I've been keeping an eye on her, trying to make sure she doesn't do something she'll regret. I haven't seen anything concrete, but there's something going on. Heather didn't wait to hear more. Fueled by a mix of fear and anger, she stormed out of Nick's place and headed straight for Sharon's. She had to confront her. She needed answers. Arriving at Sharon's house, Heather banged on the door, her heart pounding in her chest. Sharon answered, looking disheveled and defensive. What are you doing here, Heather? She asked, her eyes darting nervously. Heather didn't mince words. Where is Daniel? She demanded, stepping forward, her eyes locked onto Sharon's. I know you've been acting strange, and I know you've been after him. If you've done anything to him, so help me. Sharon backed away, shaking her head vehemently. I don't know what you're talking about, she stammered. I haven't seen Daniel. How could I have done anything to him? He's stronger than me, Heather. Do you really think I could hurt him? Heather's eyes narrowed. I think you're hiding something. You've been unraveling for weeks, and now Daniel is missing. You need to stop playing games. Sharon held her hands up, as if to ward off the accusation. I'm not playing games. I swear, I don't know where Daniel is.